Take a look at the highlights then, shall we, of that session. Riders down there in the waiting zone. Joel Smets looking on. Looks like the breeze is just starting to try and pick up here. Maxime Renault was in no mood for hanging around, nor too Paul Jonas, who was the first rider out on track, closely followed by Maxime Renault and his teammate Romain Febvre. One of the riders, one of the local riders who went out on track there, Marco Antezana from Bolivia, he fell as soon as he got over the finish line, jumped into that next right turn, but Tim Geiser and Maxime Renault were quick out of the blocks. But Geiser just made that one mistake, top end of the circuit, between, what, 12 and 13, 11 and 12 at the top of the hill. Eventually, Geiser came home in 8th place, 2.2 seconds off of Jeffrey Hurlings. Tom Vial, though, number 16, only 1.4 off the pace, 0.3 off of Lucas Koenen. He will go to the line in 3rd. PJ, former MX2 world champion, Paul Jonas from 2017, 4th. The lead, Kawasaki Racing Team factory MXGP rider ahead of his teammate here, Romain Febvre, who at this moment there caught a rock. Otherwise he would have been okay. Sent him over the bars. Febvre will go to the line in 5th place. Jeffrey Hurlings, though, who was on his sighting lap, held up the champ on the very next tour for the Kawasaki rider. Febvre frustrated at the bullet there. And Lucas Koenen, he was also on a charge, but couldn't do anything about Jeffrey Hurlings' blistering lap from lap 4. Both riders, Lucas Koenen and Jeffrey Hurlings, putting their fastest lap on lap 4. In fact, the only one that improved towards the end was Ruben Fernandez and Calvin Vallanderen at lap 9 and lap 11, respectively. But Jeffrey Hurlings, 1:52.138. He was 1.102 seconds clear at the checkered flag from Koenen and Vial. Take a look at the results then. And as we said, Jeffrey Hurlings will go to the line on pole for the qualifying race later this afternoon on MXGPTV.com. There's the time, 1:52.138, and then the gaps between them. Lucas Koenen 2nd, just over a second behind. Then Tom Vial, Paul Jonas, Romain Febvre, Maxime Renault, Andrea Adamo, and Tim Geiser. Behind them, Ruben Fernandez and Calvin Vallanderen on that Red Bull Ducati. Kevin Hormo, Albi Ferrato, Mattia Guadagnini, Thibaut Beneston, Jan Panzer, and Jeremy Siwa. Oriol Oliver, Kevin Bruman, Andrea Bonacorsi, Iago Gitz, Joaquim Poli, back at his home Grand Prix, although last year it was more of a home Grand Prix, the rider living close to Cordoba, the other side of the country. But happy to be here. I was talking to him up in the skybox, in pit lane, sorry, early today during the MX2 pre-practice, and said always excited to ride his home Grand Prix, looking forward to being here. He said he liked the dirt, looked like it was a little bit more sandy than normal. So, but as we can see now, as it starts to dry out, there's your 1st and 2nd from time practice, 84 and 5. Jeffrey looking back, is this where he's going to start from in terms of gate position? Because, of course, if you don't know MXGP, 33 riders lining up in the Premier class today, so they'll take from the 40 gates, they will pinch the outside gate, inside and outside gates, so, you know, 7 gates or whatever, so he might gate from 3 or 4. Depends if they pinch the first 3 inside or the first 4. But Jeffrey Hurlings never fails, always going to go inside gate number 1 if he has that opportunity. And it's a 80-meter start straight into turn 1, a 90-degree left turn. So if you get that jump on the rider to your right, you can just start to squeeze them to the right-hand side and then open up that first turn. He'll already have that breathing space with the first 3 or 4 gates pinched out anyway. How hard he has his forks here. 2 mechanics there trying to get that start device locked in. The problem that we had in a Dutch Championship race last week in Lirop, as he went into the first corner, it didn't pop out, did it? And that's just because these riders now go lower and lower and lower, and they normally operate by the fact that once you hit the brakes and the suspension compresses even further, then it unlocks. But when you're just hovering over that front wheel, very, very difficult to have that activated like that. You almost need a bump or a jump just to do that. But there's quite a few riders doing that, going lower and lower and lower. But Hurlings losing some vital start practice here as they struggle to get that start device locked down. Pulling down, back end going up into the air. Forks only going 2/3 of the way down. But already our track crews on watering duty. Right, he's just decided, you know what, let's just go and do an old school practice start. Might enjoy it, you never know. Let's see if there's a difference here. Start devices, keep the front end down. He'll get a little bit of wheel spin here, of course he will. Yeah, that's the difference there, look. As it just pops up, that start device just holding that front angle down a little bit, just to prevent those wheelie scenarios. Riders heading back, so Jeffrey Hurlings will grab a quick word with the Bullet, with Lisa, as he is the fastest rider in time practice today. Fortunately, we won't have too long to wait before the MX2 qualifying race. 3:15, it's now 2:33, approaching 2:34 local time. We don't really get too much of a break, about a minute, and then we are on air at 4 o'clock with MXGP qualifying race. Remember, 3 hours behind Greenwich Mean Time, Great Britain and England. 4 hours behind Central European time. Of course, we're not that far from the US here in terms of coasts and time zones. So riders and fans in America, of course, they've got a busy weekend as well. But if you're a fan of MXGP, and I'm sure a lot of you are in America, then of course we look forward to the pleasure of your company. Anyway, here is Lisa with the Bullet, our first time pole position man of 2026.
Jeffrey Hurlings, first pole position of the year for you. How important is that to start the weekend, and how's the feeling out there on this brand new track?
Yes, since the beginning we're feeling good. First breaks we were first, time breaks we were first. So anyway, it doesn't count. It's all about racing. So been feeling good on my new bike so far. So we're looking forward to the racing later this afternoon and tomorrow's racing. But brand new track for everyone. But it's shaping up quite well. And yeah, it's quite a tricky track, but it's fun so far.
Okay, thank you. Good luck for the race.
So Jeffrey Hurlings in there, just having a quick word. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all we've got time for here today. So let's say we'll see you in about 49 minutes from now. MX2 qualifying, MXGP qualifying live on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and the rest of the team. We'll see you then. Bye for now.